right, this is David Fury writing this one. He gets to be the only guy other than Joss Whedon to write a Buffy finale. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
He also wrote the second half of the premiere this season, so he's being used in big moments. And he also wrote Life Serial and wrote and directed Gone. That was his output this year. James Contner is our director. He's been with us forever. I think since season two, and he usually does a few a year. This season he did Dead Things, Entropy, and this one, which is a pretty good output actually.
hmm
Um, and all right, let's get straight into it. What do you got?
Oh man, so much. First of all, Giles is back. Was he in the opening credits? I didn't really notice.
No. But he's like special guest star Anthony Stewart Head.
I think that's what I didn't mean they would like put him back in there. But first of all, I did not expect him to die whenever the whole thing was happening with him and Anya. Like, uh, uh, their dialogue, Anya was like her dialogue was too cutesy and silly for me to believe
Yeah,
he was gonna die.
fair.
So,
I don't think I was ever convinced of it either.
but when he showed up, I was like, oh, he might be here to die. But then when it got to that point, I was like, all right, he's definitely not dying. But
Mm.
regardless, so he's there. They tie Willow up, right? And then him and Buffy go down and talk. Very cute, where she's like, my life's
This is,
falling
I think,
apart.
this is the best scene in the episode.
I don't know. They really sold it. They were like really fucking going for it,
Yeah,
which whatever. But she's like, yeah, I'm fucking Spike and my life's falling apart and like Tara's dead and then he laughs at her. He's like, oh,
yeah.
Tara's dead. That's hilarious.
Willow's addicted. No, but it's all the other shit. Willow's addicted to magic. Dawn's a kleptomaniac. I'm fucking Spike. And Giles is just like Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
And and Anya's up there with Willow while we're talking down there, and then Willow like basically Jedi mind tricks her. I thought she's just like, "You want to untie my hands," and then Anya's like, "I want to untie your hands," and she does it.
yeah, that's right. It is sort of like that. And Anya even remarks like, "You can't pull that shit off with vengeance demons." And then Willow's like, "I'm gonna pull this shit off with a vengeance demon."
Yeah.
And Anya's like, "You're gonna pull this shit off with a vengeance demon."
Well, she just drained Rack. I think it makes sense. She's so
Oh
powerful,
yeah. She's all powerful at this point. She's gonna get even more powerful, taking all that shit from Giles.
right? But it was planned from the council. Those
It wasn't the
geniuses.
council.
Oh, what? What do you mean?
Giles specifically says the Watchers Council doesn't know what the fuck is going on here.
Who sent him? Oh,
He
like the
said,
coven, he
yeah,
says.
he said he's been hanging out with a coven in Devon.
Wow, you think he's like been having foursomes?
Could be.
I bet it's like Angel when they're like Angel or
Ri-
Angel. What was that what they do?
yeah, Ripper.
Yeah, exactly like that. And but Willow, she gets untied and she goes down there and she has Anya. She drops Anya. At that moment, I was like, oh my god, is Anya dead? I did question that, but no, she's not dead. And Giles like throws her through the magic box. Is the magic box destroyed at the end of the episode?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god, it's like Lauren's
Yeah,
Caritas.
Caritas.
That fucking sucks. And I hope that Anya doesn't leave town to go to Memphis or whatever Lauren did.
Oh, he went to Las Vegas.
I know. Sorry. So we're all walking like Xander and those guys.
Why'd
And
you apologize just now? You like that was like a knee jerk reaction. You sound like I abuse you.
I don't think that's far off. But this is where Xander lets it fly that Spike tried to rape Buffy. Dawn didn't know about that.
Oh, I hate Xander in this moment.
How do you? But Dawn should know.
I know Don should know, but like the way he says it, like
No, you're right.
Don is like, if Spike was here, blah blah blah, and Xander's what's his response? Like, if Spike was here, maybe your sister would be getting raped right now or
He
something.
says it, yeah, really aggressive and like he's trying to hurt her feelings or something.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, you're right. It's not cool. And but then we check in on Spike, and this is when he like completes another trial, and then those beetles all cover him. That was crazy. Back to the magic box. Willow is like, "Oh, guys, you don't know about this? I can like send a fireball to go kill them. I don't even have to do it myself." boop,
Hmm.
here goes the fireball. And then she like shoots it at him. And so Buffy goes to try to stop it, and Willow's like beating up Giles or whatever. And then she like slams him on the ceiling and the ground. It's pretty cool. And then she like sucks all the power out of him.
No, sorry, I looked up the line that I don't like from Xander.
Yeah.
He says if Spike Dawn says if Spike were here, he'd go back and fight. And Xander says, sure, if he wasn't too busy trying to rape your sister.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. So yeah, she chases the fireball. Keep going.
Yeah. And and then Willow starts after she sucks all the power out of Giles. This is sort of like Earshot, I thought. She starts like feeling everybody's pain, and that's what makes her want to end the world. That was like Earshot. Like it looks silent, but I can feel everyone's pain.
It actually it reminded me of Cordelia into Shanshu in LA on
Mm-hmm.
Angel. She's like made to feel the pain of all the people in Los Angeles, and she has the reverse reaction, which is like I want to like get serious about helping people.
Right.
And I think once and for all, we now know that Cordelia is a better person than Willow.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Another
That's my
check for
takeaway here.
Cordelia. Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah, all right. And so the fireball like shows up or whatever, and that's what causes the grave. It crashes into the ground, and the grave, the big thing opens up. Buffy and Dawn fall into it. Andrew and Jonathan are like, now was our opportunity to go to Mexico, so they head off. Uh, Whatever.
Yeah.
And Xander's there. He like tries to help them out.
Andrew makes some pretty serious Star Wars references in this episode.
Really?
Yeah, he calls her Darth Rosenberg, which I always liked.
Okay.
And I don't remember. There's a few things. He's like, and it's when Xander
I know what
early
you're
on,
talking about.
he's like, "You've never had any sex, have you?"
Oh, that was hilarious. I loved that for Xander. But I remember it's he says something about when we were friends a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. He said
Right.
something like that.
And he says something like Willow's gonna turn us all into Jawa burgers or something.
Yeah.
It's really over the top.
Didn't one of them have us? They were painting the Death Star on a van.
Yeah, that was. I think that was Andrew.
Okay. I thought that might have been a different show I watched. Okay, but yeah, that's it. I think Andrew is the biggest nerd of all of them,
Yeah,
probably.
he's a pretty big dork.
Yeah, but we go back to the magic box. This is when Giles is like fake dying, and I was like, all right, he's not dying because Anya's like, do I look cute or whatever? By the way, I loved when he showed up and he was like, Buffy, you changed your hair, and Anya was
Oh,
like, I dyed mine too.
yeah, I like that too. Like he Buffy gave him a hug, and then like Anya wanted a hug too, so she brought up her own hair. That was the only way she could think to go about doing it.
Oh, I love these guys so much. They're so great. Then we learn about Kingman's Bluff. Apparently, a temple on Kingman's Bluff, and then we're like, "There's no temple on Kingman's Bluff." But then we see Willow fucking erect a temple on Kingman's Bluff. That
Yeah,
was
this
kind of
is,
cool.
by the way, the same area of Sunnydale where Angel was going to kill himself in Amends, where the
Holy shit!
sun, because it's the first place the sun hits when it comes up.
Wow, that's cool. I like that.
Mhm.
Amends, classic. And then Willow. Oh, I thought this was like the Last Jedi. What do you think? Buffy and Willow are like talking like through the Force, like telepathically. They like see each other. Buffy's like Willow, like talk. You remember that?
Yeah, but I mean, like that's been set up as something Willow could do for a while now. You remember in the
Oh shit.
premiere, she was doing that, and they were making Jean Grey references. Now she's Dark Phoenix.
Ah, maybe I mentioned the Last Jedi then too. But I have a question. This made me think about something. Is Ryan Johnson lucky that Joss was like a semi canceled? Do you think Ryan Johnson caught a break? Joss was out of Hollywood for a bit.
House, like, do you think Joss Whedon would have gotten
I feel
Star
like they're
Wars
similar. No, not
opportunities?
necessarily Star Wars, but I just feel like they have similar sensibilities a little bit.
A little, yeah, I guess I could see it. Like Brick is just like high school as metaphor, which is what Buffy is.
Right. And they're like
And
witty nerds, know a
yeah,
lot about lore,
I could see
culture
it.
lore.
Probably helped. not to have Joss Whedon
I'm sure he would have
around.
been fine regardless. I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Johnson. I love
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson, but it made me think for a second. But
Definitely though, like when Joss Whedon got canceled, that was like a huge like divot taken out of like nerddom because like he was always one of the first guys you thought of. Like it made so much sense when they announced the Avengers and they said Joss Whedon is doing it. Like every nerd in the world felt so comfortable with that choice. And
right,
now all of a sudden he wasn't an option anymore.
uh, he'll be back.
I don't know.
Chris Brown is like the number one song right now or something. He like just came out with a song that's like number one.
For some reason, people are much more forgiving of musicians than any other form of art. I don't know. Like Whedon, I mean, it's been a fucking minute now.
It has. It has.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see what happens. Uh, oh, this is when Dawn joins in the fight, and she's like, "What, Buffy? You don't think I've been watching you?"
Here's the problem. The HBO gave him a shot after he was canceled. They let him do a TV show called The Nevers.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is it sucked.
Yeah, that is
And
a problem.
so then it was like, oh, he's canceled and he's lost his juice. Like maybe let's just leave him in the past.
Yeah, that was his chance. You can't fuck
Yeah.
that up if they're giving you a chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if that
Well,
was really good, if the Nevers was as exciting as like the boys or whatever, like people would have let him back in.
did you watch it?
I watched every episode.
You thought it was bad too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what other people thought about it. I never heard really it get much buzz. I thought it sucked.
Oh, you okay? You thought.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, fair enough. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
don't want to say I'm like rooting for him or not because I don't know how to feel about it all.
No,
But
I can't even say I'm rooting for him, but I just as an artist I care about. I'd be interested to see what he would do today. But you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
right. But like guys, if you guys didn't listen, we did a commentary track for the Avengers, directed by Joss Whedon. So
That's true.
check that out. That was pretty fun. Uh, anyway, but this is
Have you
when
done the video of highlights yet?
no, I don't know if I'm really going to.
Oh, okay. I was gonna watch that.
Oh, maybe I'll do it. We'll see what
You
happens.
don't have to.
Xander. Oh, this is when Xander shows up. Oh, anything on Dawn doing the sword?
Oh, this is like when they're underground and shit.
She kills one of those little bad guys with a sword.
I hate those bad guys.
Why? Like they're scary?
No. I really think it was just that we've plotted out the finale, and Buffy's underground. There's nothing she could fight.
Right.
And it's like it's weird not to have Buffy in the big fight at the end of the finale. So we're just like throwing some like henchmen at her. Felt like fucking Rita Repulsa's putties from Power Rangers or something, or like the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles. Like they're just like disposable whatevers.
Yeah.
But that is a nice moment where she asks Dawn to come in. They have a few great moments in this finale. I really like the stuff coming up where she says I don't want to.
Hide you
What
from the
is
world. I want to show it to you.
yeah, that.
Yeah, that's great. That's like, yeah, that was great. Buffy really came full circle from the whole season. Like she
Yes,
hated
100%.
being reborn, and now she's like excited for it again. She wants to enjoy
Right.
it. Xander. Oh, this is when Xander shows up to Willow, and he basically Goodwill Huntings her.
He does. He wins with the power of love.
It's not your
And
fault, Willow. It's not your
yeah,
fault.
I love you.
I
I
love
love
you.
you, Willow.
I love
I
you.
love you.
And earlier we set up that no magical or supernatural force can beat Willow. But you know what can? Love.
That's right.
Xander's love.
A nice memory about a yellow crayon.
It broke and you cried. Didn't want anyone to find out.
Yeah.
Xander, by the way, I love the part where he's like, if the world is gonna end, where else would I want to be? Like I want to be by you, Willow. Like if you're really gonna do this, where would I want to go? Like
Right.
this is my favorite place.
You're my best friend. Like yeah, I like what he says. It's like like that. That's my whole life is like you. Like you're my bud. Like what the fuck else am I gonna go off and do?
Like he is talking her down, but he's not even really. That seemed like a genuine thing. Like if you're really gonna go through with this, then Willow, I want to be with you for it. That seemed like
Yeah,
totally real. I really love that. And so a Willow, they hug, and Willow's hair turns back red. That's nice.
yeah, yeah, and her veins go away. Yeah, do you see it as a religious thing? Some people like to talk about how Xander, a carpenter, defeats the
Oh my goodness.
satanic temple at the end of this episode with the power of love.
Well, I didn't see that.
Is
No.
Xander Jesus?
Well, to me, he's been this whole time. Doesn't he even say like you're no match for this carpenter or something?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It
So,
reminded me of the last season where he says like glorified
oh
bricklayer.
yeah, and the thing smashed and hit
Yeah.
glory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was very similar to that. But I didn't pick up on the Jesus parallels, but I guess that's fair enough. And we go back to the magic box. Giles says like this was the plan all along for her to take my powers, and then for this to happen, whatever. And I wrote magic box destroyed question mark, but I guess you already answered that earlier. It's
Yeah,
done.
pretty much.
What the fuck?
I don't know that it's done. I can't remember if like we reopen it or something, but it's definitely like in a state of disrepair at this point.
Yeah, we'll see. And Buffy starts crying, but they're happy tears.
Yeah, which surprises Dawn. Like it's been so long since like Buffy has been overwhelmed by emotion that was happy.
Oh, me too, Buffy. I can relate.
Yeah.
Uh, and then she says, "I'm excited to show you everything, Dawn. Earlier in the season, I wanted to just protect you and shield you from everything, but now I want to show you the world."
Yeah.
And a Sarah McLachlan song came on
That's right.
again.
Parallels of season 2. There's a Sarah McLachlan song to close out the season. That was full of grace back in season 2.
Oh man,
This one is called The Prayer of Saint Francis. Um
not as
and
good, but
not
what are you
no,
gonna do?
not even close. But I always remember when they walk out, it's a nice shot with all the blooming trees and stuff, and a
Mm-hmm.
bird flies by. What Tim texted me earlier in the week that he thinks you're gonna love the finale, and I was like, why? Because a bird shows up.
That was your
And
first
that was
reaction?
my
You
first
remembered that
reaction.
bird?
Yeah, I remembered that bird,
I don't really
and
remember the bird.
he goes, no, just because he loves Xander. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't remember the bird, but that's very funny. That's not
Mm-hmm.
really a thing about my quote unquote character anymore, is like that I love birds. That's not really part
I
of
know,
me
but it
anymore.
was for a minute.
Yeah, it was like my first thing ever was like I love birds for some reason. Uh well, for some reason my mom did have a bird, so it made sense.
Yeah.
But and then
You haven't
we
lived there for a long time, so we don't hear about the bird.
I haven't talked to my mom in 4 years.
Really?
Something like that. Uh,
Wow.
and then so we go, they're like hitchhiking with that guy, and they're like, oh, what is that about? So there we go. Spike is he finished the trial. Oh my God, I have a question. So he says, all right, I'm done now. And then the guy he says, all right, here's your soul. Did that mean he was going back to vampire Spike or back to nerdy Spike, where like when he had a normal soul?
Oh. Well, probably I think it's more a new thing. Like
Oh,
if
a new version.
it's like Angel he's the only vampire that's ever had a soul before. Now Spike does too.
Okay.
So you know, um, Spike is a vampire still,
Mm-hmm.
but he's a vampire with a soul. And Angel's reaction to getting a soul was to spend the next like 100 years like living on the streets as a homeless man, or like hanging out in hotels in Los Angeles, like not helping people, like just fucking trying to figure it out and hating himself. So we'll see what happens to Spike going forward. But yeah, that was a big red herring. Everyone thought he was going to get the chip taken out, but it was to get his soul back.
Well, I thought he went to get the chip, but then that guy tricked him at the end and was
No,
like, "All right, fine, here." But he did ask for it, like, "I want you," but he said, "I want you to like put me back to normal or how I was," and then he said, "All right, here's your soul." So I thought he was putting him back to like factory mode, like the way he was born, basically,
no, it's
before Drusilla.
there was a lot of talk about this at the time, so much so that Joss Whedon had to like confirm over the summer that getting
Oh
his
wow.
soul back was like his intention. Uh, but yeah, they set it up in a lot of misleading ways.
Right. Yeah, I didn't really quite understand. But what fours?
Yeah, yeah, I'll go with four. I where what did I primeval? 35?
Prime Evil? Yeah, yeah. How great call.
Well, you just asked me that. We talked about it before. What's under that?
The replacement.
All right, put it there.
30, so 36 between the two.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. In my ranking, I'll put it between Bad Girls and Tabula Rasa. So I'll go this one, Tabula Rasa, two to go. That's my ranking.
Okay. And where's that?
That is 23. So I like them more than you,
Yeah,
I
that's
guess.
fair. It's a big finale, big exciting finale. I just think it's not on the same level as other finales.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So MVP, LVP?
Willow's the MVP.
Okay.
Who's the LVP?
Um, boy.
The truck driver? Who's that guy with Spike? Not that he's the LVP. That guy's kind of cool. I like kind of
The
like him.
cave demon?
Yeah, he's neat. I like his eyes. I might go the
He's
truck
neat.
driver LVP. I don't know who
All
else to
right.
go with.
Was that this episode?
Yeah, they end on the truck.
Oh, that.
There's two
Right.
trucks. You're right.
Right, right. That's so funny. Yeah, maybe that
What if it's the
guy.
same guy? I
Oh
think.
my God. I'm gonna check that right now.
I
That would be fucking mind blowing.
don't think there's any way. Truck drivers are often on the move. I don't think you would stay there.
It's true.
But did we get a look at him in the first?
It's not the same guy,
Okay.
but I will say that he also played that prince. Remember the episode Provider of Angel? There's that prince guy who like put Fred's head on like a little computer program.
Yes, of course I remember that.
He was the same actor.
Holy, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, he's the LVP here.
Yeah, all right. He's probably LVP there too.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. What do you
Questions?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go to Josh.
All right. Josh says one, poor Xander babyface, starting this one off with a sad. That
Yeah.
police station has a flimsy ass back door and their squad cars cannot run a truck. Well, it's a magical truck. I guess ACAB stands for all cops are bad at setting themselves up with gear and infrastructure in Sunnydale. Wow, a good one. He says Andrew literally called Willow Dark Phoenix, just like Dan said. Willow's in a league of her own. I guess I much prefer truck driving Magic Mama. So funny that Dark Willow in the
Oh,
height
I
of.
like that line.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
a line? Truck
that's
driving Magic
Andrews.
Mama?
Andrews says she's now. What are you talking about? She's not Willow. She's a truck driving magic mama.
Andrew's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So funny that Dark Willow, in the height of her powers, still can't conjure up Andrew's name. Yeah, that was pretty hilarious. I think like Dawn or Anya, someone else couldn't do it either. And
Yeah.
then he says, Giles. Shout out to Giles. And then he says, episode two, Giles. That's how he starts that one. He says, I'm lucky that I'm pretty oblivious viewer when it comes to predicting stuff. In hindsight, it was pretty obvious that Willow's witch stuff would come back with a vengeance and Giles would return to save the day. I'm glad I was surprised by both, especially because I'm pretty sure the way back when I got spoiled on Willow being a dark witch, I saw a picture from one of these episodes.
Yeah, I remember that, and I tried to steer you away from it.
Oh, like veiny
Yeah,
Willow.
he said he saw Willow with black eyes and shit, and I was like, maybe you saw her from that one in season 5 where she goes after Glory on
I
behalf
think
of
the
Tara.
I
But
think I believed you
I
when you
knew
said
what he
that.
saw. I knew what he saw.
Yeah, I think I actually remember that. I think I remember believing you. Like, oh yeah, I
Good,
remember that when
good. That
she
was
did
the
that.
purpose. I didn't want to spoil you. Um,
And then
but yeah, there's also a good callback in this episode to the Giles conversation earlier in the season where he calls her a rank arrogant amateur.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Amateur.
Amateur. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that. He set it up. Oh, what? I saw a picture from one of these episodes. At the last second, I did figure that Spike was getting his soul back. He set it up because he was like, "I'm gonna give Buffy what she deserves." Oh wait, he's giving her what she deserves, like a guy with a soul. Maybe
He
is what he
said
meant.
it. Yeah, he said it all mean, but it was maybe a nice
Yeah,
gesture.
that's why I didn't get it because he really does say it fucking evil.
Yeah. Well, part of that's also that they didn't tell Marsters what was going to happen until the last minute.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. He I wonder if that was Spike's intention or if Mr. Cave Demon was pulling a fast one on him. I wondered that too.
Yeah.
Because when Spike was heading to the cave, he kept saying he was going to take care of the chip in his head, or do you think he changed his mind at some point?
He
After
doesn't say he's taking care of the chip in his head. What he's complaining about the chip. He says that the chip makes him not a full being. Like he's half demon but half man because of the presence of the chip. But removing the soul does what he's asking for anyway. It makes him more of a man.
right. I thought when he left Sunnydale, I thought that was we would see him like next like halfway through the final season of Buffy, he would pop back up. I thought that that was going to be it for a little bit.
Mm.
After all that shit, does he really think he's gonna waltz back to Buffy and be like, "Babe, I've changed. Come love me now"? Would be nice, but I don't think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. It's gonna be tough.
I
Uh,
think having a soul is going to inform him that that's not possible, probably.
well, because of what you said, like because you had the take of like, well, Spike's eventually gonna like realize what he did was wrong. You know the stuff he did with Buffy, or there's gonna be a resolution to that. Like you understand what he was doing at that point. So I guess that was like he didn't have a soul. Now he's gonna have a soul and realize everything, right?
Yeah.
His actions. Overall, the finale, this is Josh again. Overall, the finale was very gratifying and fun. Some stuff was a little over the top and hard to take seriously. I agree with that. At times, including Dark Willow, more like Jump the Shark Willow. Whoa. I don't know if I have problems with Willow, honestly.
I don't. I definitely don't think it's a jump the shark moment, but that's funny.
All that throwing magic around at each other felt pretty cheap and lazy after a while. Guys, I don't know. This season had a couple of weak patches, but I overall think it's my favorite. Whoa, I didn't expect him to say that. It's my favorite. That's crazy, right?
I knew Josh would like it though, because Josh, like, he doesn't really give a shit about like the magic of it all, or like the demons or villains and stuff like that. Like Josh has always been at his heart like interested in character building, and that's really all this season's doing.
Yes. We thought like last season with the whole like Dawn is energy, like that was all like pretty deep stuff, but this season's even more just like the deep character stuff, less of like
Yeah,
the evil threats,
I
I
think
guess.
this season's about exploring who these characters are. And it's sort of like it bothers me because it takes it everything's very literal. Like there's a great quote from Joss Whedon if I can find it. Give me a second.
Okay. I'll it's either my second or third least favorite season. I like it more than season 4 and
Yeah,
probably season 1,
all right.
maybe
So
season 1.
Joss Whedon, he says this season was an end to magic. And this is for me maybe like I prefer the metaphor of the show. So the quote from Whedon is, "For me, because childhood is so rich with metaphor, a lot of it had to do with leaving that behind. Instead of a bigger than life villain, we had the nerd troika. Instead of drinking blood and doing spells as a sexual metaphor, we had sex. Things became very literal and they lost some of their loveliness. I
Right.
still think that a lot of the best episodes we ever did were in season 6. I don't
No,
agree with
I disagree with that.
he says, I don't agree with the detractors, but I understand it.
I mean I agree with what he's saying, but I sort of didn't love like the dead things stuff and like all the killing Tara like randomly. Like no, none of that stuff super worked for me. But I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. And Josh says he'll do a ranking after season 7, but from what he understands, that's not going to be a contender. Season 7 as a top season.
I I think season seven's underrated.
Okay.
I
So
I think I would actually agree with that, like what Whedon said more. Like I think some of the best episodes ever in season seven.
I thought
But
he said season 6.
what?
I
No,
thought
no,
he
no.
said that some of the
I
best are in
no,
season 6.
he did. I'm saying season seven.
Oh, gotcha.
I would say, like I would say it more about that season, in that I think season seven has its problems and its rough patches, and the overall arc doesn't always work for me. But individually, episode for episode, there's going to be some high ones.
In my top 16, I have 5 episodes from season 2.
Yeah,
So I think that might
that's an
be still my
incredible
favorite.
season.
Oh no, I'm looking at your list. I was totally looking at your list. Season 3 actually I like more when it comes to episodes.
Wow. And I rank season three higher, and you rank season two higher.
Right, that's really weird. I have
Yeah.
6 season 3 episodes in the top 15, and you have 5 season 2 episodes in the top 16. But we swap which seasons we like more, just
Yeah.
because of like the heights that they reach for
The
me, I guess.
yeah, the
And yours is consistency.
consistency is important to me. Yeah.
That's fair. Um, there's Buffy. I don't really have any predictions. I have no idea what's gonna happen next
All
season.
right. Well,
Spike's
next
coming back.
season, it's season seven. We're kicking it off next week with the first two episodes. So remember not to watch Angel.
Right. I guess the question is what's gonna happen with Giles? I don't really know that. Is Are Anya and Xander gonna give it another go? That'd be cool.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, episode one of season seven is called Lessons. And
Yeah, go
what?
ahead.
Go ahead.
I just think we're learning all the lessons from last season. We're gonna be
Great.
better.
Great. All right. And episode two of season seven is called Beneath You.
Spike's back with Buffy, back underneath her, just as he planned.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
So, yeah, can't wait. More Buffy next week. This is the longest we've gone without Angel in a bit. We're going, well, it'll be 3 weeks by the time we're on the next one.
Yeah, it's true. It'll be back the following week, but it is sort of odd. But anyway, let's start season seven. I'm fucking pumped, gang.